Have you ever thought about this strange question? What actually amazes Jesus? He wasn't surprised by storms. He calmed them. He wasn't surprised by sickness. He healed it. He wasn't surprised by demons. He cast them out. He wasn't even surprised by death. He defeated it. So, what made Jesus pause? What made the all-knowing Son of God marvel? Well, it wasn't a religious leader, and it wasn't a priest, a Pharisee, or a prophet. It wasn't even one of his 12 disciples. It was a Roman soldier and a Canaanite woman, two outsiders who had every reason to be dismissed and overlooked. But they believed. And in response, Jesus did something he rarely did. He praised them. He publicly honored their faith. He held them up as examples, not of average belief, but of great faith. What's so powerful here is this: they didn't fit in, but their faith stood out. And maybe the same is still true today. The strongest faith doesn't always come from the stage, but sometimes from the shadows, from the ones who weren't invited in, but came anyway. If that's you today, if you've ever felt like an outsider, I know I have, overlooked, unqualified, I want you to lean in, because this message, well, this message is for you. The Roman Centurion. Imagine this. A hardened Roman soldier, an officer in charge of 100 men, approaches Jesus. Not a Jew, not a follower, but a man wearing the armor of the enemy. Yet he comes with humility and desperation. His servant is paralyzed and suffering. He says, "Lord, my servant lies at home paralyzed, suffering terribly." Jesus responds, "Shall I come and heal him?" Now that would have been huge. Jesus offering to go to a Gentile's home, but the centurion's answer is shocking. He responds, "Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed." Now, he doesn't ask for Jesus' physical presence. He trusts Jesus' authority. He explains, "I myself am a man under authority. I say to this one, 'Go,' and he goes. To another, 'Come,' and he comes." This man saw something most didn't. Jesus carried command over all things, even sickness. And Jesus is stunned. He turns to the crowd and says, "Truly, I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith." Did you catch that? Not in Jerusalem, not among the priests, not among his own disciples. Jesus had not seen faith like this in all of Israel. Why? Because the centurion believed that Jesus' word alone had power. He didn't need to see it to believe it. And true faith believes without needing to touch. It hears and trusts. That's not weak faith. That's mountain-moving faith. The Canaanite Woman. Jesus leaves Galilee and enters Gentile territory, Tyre and Sidon. Suddenly, a woman starts crying out, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon-possessed and suffering terribly." Now, at first, Jesus is silent. Then he says, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel." And she keeps crying out. Then comes the line that offends modern ears. It is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. But her faith doesn't flinch. She answers, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Wow! She could have turned away. She could have been hurt, angry, rejected. But she holds on, not to her pride and not to her pain, but to her faith. She knew something about Jesus that many insiders miss. His mercy flows even in the margins. Now, Jesus looks at her deeply moved and says, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And her daughter was healed at that very moment. Now this is relentless faith. Faith that won't take no for an answer when it knows God's character says yes. She didn't let silence stop her. She didn't let rejection define her. She didn't let culture exclude her. She knew who Jesus was, and she refused to stop believing. Now, let's take a step back. These stories aren't meant to challenge us. They expose a truth. Sometimes those closest to religion are farthest from faith. Jesus wasn't rebuking the outsiders. He was rebuking the insiders who were too familiar with God to recognize him. And that raises a question for us. Have we become so comfortable in church culture that we've stopped believing Jesus for the impossible? Are we trusting in our routines, our buildings, our knowledge, more than we trust his voice? Meanwhile, the centurion and the Canaanite woman teach us that faith doesn't need a title. Faith doesn't need a degree. Faith doesn't need the perfect past. It just needs a heart that says, "Jesus, I know who you are, and I trust you." So here's the takeaway. Jesus isn't looking for performance. He's not moved by eloquence. He doesn't need your resume. He's looking for something far more powerful. A bold, humble, unshakable faith that trusts him no matter what. Faith that says, "Just say the word." Faith that says, "Even crumbs from you are enough." Faith that keeps believing, even when there's silence, even when there's struggle, even when there's no sign. So ask yourself today, could God be moving more powerfully outside the walls of the church than inside it? Could the very people we overlook be the ones Jesus would hold up as examples? And could your faith be the one that stops him in his tracks? Don't wait to feel worthy. And don't wait until you fit in. Don't wait to get everything right. Just believe. Come like the centurion, humble and trusting. Come like the Canaanite woman, desperate but unshaken. Because that is the faith Jesus still marvels at today. And he's still looking for it in places no one expects. Let it be found in you. God bless you, my friends. Bye-bye.